Hi my lovelies, hope you've been well. With the new month, we're also talking about the favorites and things that I've been liking from last month, which is March. So I hope you enjoyed this one as well. There's quite a fair bit of stuff as usual, but I hope you find something that you like, or like, you know, interested about, or don't know of about, or if you just like watching these just for hearing me ramble, that's fine as well. Basically, so the first thing I have on the list is let's just get the PET tape out of the way, because you know these are some of my favorites, and I know you guys really like PET tapes as well. But these are actually the Ursula Loft PET tape. They're of Hydrangeas, and I really like them because they're more muted and more suitable for my spread colors. You know, I already have these ones, which is from Peipan or Fairy Ball. I think she goes by both names. Let's read it. Come on. These are the bigger Hydrangea. So if you can see it, it's almost double the size, and I find it harder to use when you're doing smaller spreads, or in my thinking of you, because I would like to usually have small-ish things on those. So this one will be much better, and also because they're just like, the color of it is just so me. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, I usually use very subtle colors, lots of browns, and I just think this is just really nice. Also, they have this little white little hydrangeas as well throughout, and you know how much I love white ink on PET tapes, so this is one of my favorite for March. So yeah, if you're looking for a hydrangea tape and you're looking for whichever one you like, this one is quite a fair bit more brighter than this one. So if you like bright color spreads, this one is probably good for you. They come in two sizes. There's a bigger one and there's a smaller one, but the smaller one is only for washi. It's almost probably the same size as this one. I have it as well, but I can't actually find. Actually, maybe I can show you in my PET storage instead. Okay, these are the ones that I was talking about. So they are mostly washi, but they're like half of the size. So like the sizes are nearly the same with this one. So those three are your to go to when it comes to hydrangea tapes. But definitely my favorite right now is the Ursula Loft, because the color is much more easier to use for me, because I usually make spreads that are pretty kind of subdued, muted-ish in color. So yeah, whichever one you like of those. But this one is my current favorite. Another thing that I've been really loving from last month is this washi tape from Miu Miu Beam. I'm pretty new to their brand. It's a Korean brand, but I would describe them as vintage cute, because they do things that looks vintage in like, if you just look at it for a little bit, you think it's vintage because it's like tickets, right? This one, not so much. This one is my favorite for this month. That's why I'm showing you it first. But this is actually my like very, very favorite of it. But I also did get this one. When you just look at it, you feel like, oh yeah, it's vintage, right? It's tickets. But you have this illustration that is of like all these bears. Can I see it again? See this? There's another bear that's just reading books. So it's like subtle, cute, but the general vibe is still quite vintage, which I feel like it's such a cheeky thing to do. But also I live for this kind of cheeky, because you know I love cute things, but I'm finding it really hard to incorporate with all my like vintage stuff. So this has been a really, really nice like discovery. I did use it on my, what's this? My Midori One Day One page, on that one, and on that one as well. That one is not the cute one, but it still has a flower. But I just feel like it just like fits the vintage aesthetic as well, even though it has a little bit like cute sprinkled throughout. So that just makes me happy. Like cute things makes me happy, but I can't use it as much. No, that's the only thing about cute things. So I like it when there's like cute things that looks vintage, so I can actually use it. Also use the Ursula Loft Hydrangea on here, and that's another Miu Miu Beam washi tape as well. You can tell I'm obsessed, but yeah, that's the Ursula Loft one. So those two I will keep them here anyway because I think they're pretty cute. I'll move on to my third favorite from last month, which is these pens, papers, planners, stamps. They make such cute like tiny stamps. Like, can you see how tiny these are? But I've just been liking them so much. I did get my first one before this, which is this one, the One Step at a Time one, but I really like her stamps, so I did get another two versions, the bird one and the Life is a Collection of Moments. But I really like these stamps. I just find them very tiny and cute, and I like the quality as well of them. And I also like how they have trimmed it to be this small, because sometimes when it's too big you can get the edges in and everything. So I actually really like these. So those two are some of my favorites again, also from last month. And another thing that I discovered last month and have been really loving is a brand of ink called the Troublemaker inks. You know, I'm a fountain pen newbie. I'm just discovering all these like brands of inks and things like that, but this is probably already like, you know, information for you. But if you're also a fountain pen newbie, I would love to introduce you to this brand, even though from what I'm hearing it's quite hard to get stock from them because they're quite a small business and they have a lot of people that want to buy the inks, and I absolutely know why, because their inks are pretty nice. And I've been on a hunt of inks that are more like pastel, because like I find that lots of inks are quite dark, right? Because obviously if you need to use it on a fountain pen, you'd want it to be something that is quite dark and you can see it properly. But so I guess that's probably why like lighter inks are not as popular as like the darker ink, like the more vibrant inks. But I actually am a pastel girl, so I really love like light inks. So let me show you. So I got 4 of them, and these are the swatch from all 4. But right now the one that I've been really loving is the kelp tea one, which is the one I'm gonna talk to you about. I really love how much of the ink you actually get in this little bottle. This is 60 ml, you guys. And if you compare it to Pilot Iroshizuku kind of ink bottle, it's like this size is like night and day. Let me get you one to compare. So if I compare it to this one, the Yamaguri one, because it's made of glass, right? It's heavy, so it feels like significantly much heavier. But this is 50 ml, whereas the Troublemaker one is 60 ml. So there's more in this tiny bottle than in this like really huge bottle. But you can see from here that their size is kind of like not like, you know, square. So you kind of get that, and then you get like this thick glass on the bottom. But you know what, I'm happy with plastic PET tape kind of bottle. When I first received them in the mail, right, I had to pick it up in the post station, and then when I was walking home, I'm like, this is strangely light for inks. Did they miss out my order, or did something happen? But no, it didn't. Like, it just because they use PET plastic, that makes it so much lighter, which I'm all for. Because I mean, that means like it's easier, it's more portable to send around and things like that. When it becomes like ink, it's the same weight in the end, right? But I've inked it up, and I've done it on this page, and can you see just how nice the color look? I can't even talk anymore, but the color is so nice. It has a very nice like shading, and I don't know, something about it just makes me so happy. This ink, like the color of it is just, the amazing thing about it is that it changes colors. I will see if I can demonstrate it to you guys here. I have a spare paper. I will demonstrate it to you here, and you'll see that it changes as it dries, and that effects really makes me so excited. So this is the Troublemaker tea. It's gonna pick it up straight away, but maybe it already is changing. So maybe I'll try to write it up here so you guys can see it. Can you see how it, like, in the beginning it was a little bit cooler, but as it seeps into the paper it becomes a little bit more warmer. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know, something about it is really cool. So if I use the brush for them, maybe it'll like show up better. I don't know, should I do it like really closer to you guys? See that changes, that color changes, it becomes warmer. This is a really bad paper to swatch inks on, by the way, but like it's really amazing. I just find it really amazing that it changes colors. Let's try it, but let me not do as much so it doesn't distract. I don't know, something about the color changing thing just makes me so happy, and like I really like looking at it. So is this why people collect inks? Because when you write on it and it changes colors, all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, that is so cool, I'm so happy. Is that why you guys collect ink? But anyway, aside from that gorgeous ink, I also have gotten to this Jinhao bandwagon. So I did get a few Jinhao pens from AliExpress because I'm very curious, because I've been some friends been telling me that they're actually pretty good for its price, because these are like less than $10. Can you believe you can get pens for less than $10? But also these are dupe for the Sailor ones, but it's not really a dupe because you know that this is cheaper, because the build quality you can really tell. But also I don't own any Sailor, so I can't actually compare it. But for me, who is just starting at fountain pens and trying to get used to it, it's actually pretty good, you guys. I actually really like it. So I think it's the Jinhao 82, if I'm not wrong. I got a lot of the EFs. These two are EFs, just because I really like thin nibs. But what I really like about this is the thin nibs is very smooth to write on. But I think this probably feels more like an F than an EF. I think this one is the fine. I did get a few just to try, and because they have such cute colors, I can't, like, you know, just get one. Also because they're like quite affordable, so yeah, I got a few. But again, you can't really tell that. So this is fine and this is extra fine, but you can't really tell that much. There's not that much difference. I'm gonna try it again with my green one. I heard it's also depending on what kind of ink you put in there, so maybe it's ink that's different. But this one and the green one is the same brand of ink. This is another this is another Troublemaker one as well. So this is fine and this is extra fine. So you can tell it's like really small difference between the. Why I want you to focus. It's really small difference between the nib sizes, so I don't think you can go wrong getting each, like, whichever one, or you can just get two and then check. Like, it's pretty affordable. It's like $5, or it's basically less than $10, so you can probably get a fine and an extra fine, then try it which size you like. I usually really like thin pens, so that's why I just get the EF and F. I'm not really into medium because I think that's a bit too thick for me. But they have been really like, I've been really liking it, surprisingly. And yeah, if you just need like cheap fountain pens, if you're like a beginner, these Jinhao ones are like very like bang for your buck, and they're like really good. I feel like I have a Kaweko, what is this called? Kaweko Parkio, I think. And even the Jinhao feels smoother than this to me. So that is saying a lot. And so I've been really liking that. I've been inking. These are all ink because that's just how much I was excited about the Troublemaker inks as well. So yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the last one. So what I have been doing for March is actually to use one of my passport TN as a wallet. So it's been working quite well. I actually really like it. And it scratches a bit because I have nails and I have this tendency to put everything to a tote bag, including my keys, and then it scratches the surface and things like that. But I'm trying to be really good at being okay with the scratches, because that's what makes it kind of like more me, I guess. Like this gets a lot of scratches on top of here because I choose to loop it this way instead of the normal that way, just because it's easier for me to like kind of grab something really quickly besides opening the whole thing up. But I also like how you don't have to do the whole like opening motion, but you can just do this and it'll just open up. I feel like that's a little bit of a lazy girl hack, but anyway, I have these two pockets, clear pockets to contain all my cards. Obviously they're blocked off, so you guys can't see my credit card numbers and stuff. And then this one is for all my coins. I still take some like cash sometimes, but most of the time I just pay everything by card or by my Apple Pay. So this doesn't actually get opened a lot, and even then they already have a little bit of scratch because I did open it whenever I need to get my gym card. There's also like a craft paper folder thing, and there's also this passport memo I got from Muji. It was meant to be for kind of just day-to-day notes if I need to take down notes, but I'm toying with the idea of putting my monthly calendar in here, so that if I'm out and about and then one of my friends say, hey, let's grab dinner next week or something like that, then I can just jot it down here instead of like waiting at home until instead of waiting till I get home before I write it down, because half of the time whenever I'm at home I don't remember those things. Like I'll remember it randomly somewhere, but then not always when I'm at home. So I feel like if I carry one of these on here and I carry this every day, then that will be a good solution, and I will be able to like keep more on top of things. But the thing that's stopping me from putting it here is because I can't for the life of me find my little passport like elastic thingies, so that's why it's just sitting on my desk for now. But anyway, I also have this pen loop from Midori, which I really liked. It gets a little bit wobbly, but these can fit any size of pens. I find like some of the Traveler's Notebook one and some of the other ones are a little bit tiny, so if you have a thicker pens, sometimes it might not hold, but this one holds pretty good. Also another canvas thing with all my like extra card that I don't reach much often, so like library cards and stuff. And then this part is basically like coffee cards. Well, not really coffee because I don't drink coffee, but boba cards. This is one of the places I go for boba. And then some kind of like ephemeras that I collected whenever I went out. So basically this one is from one of a restaurant that I went to like a few days ago with some of my friends, and they gave us the little card when we're paying our bill. So I'm like, yep, taking this. So yeah, that's my Traveler's Notebook passport as a wallet, and I've been really liking using that because, you know, Traveler's Notebook are made to be carried around, to be like used as like out in the world as you go. But I feel like because I've discovered it like just a year before the pandemic started, it's always been at home. So one of my resolution for this year is to actually take out my Travel's Notebook much more, and to be slightly okay with mini scratches. I mean, I'm still not okay with like really big gashes or something like that, but if it's like small little scratches, maybe I can, like, you know, deal with it, hopefully. So that's most of the favorites from this from last month. I hope you actually enjoy me just rambling over like things I've been loving from last month, and I hope there's something that you've learned from this, or there's something that you add to your wish list, even though I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? But I'm still on nose pen as well, so I think next month's favorites will be a little bit interesting, because I probably wouldn't have new stuff, but we'll see what's going to be my favorites, right? Because usually some of the stuff that I showcase here are some of new stuff, but also I'm all for using the things that you already have. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good month anyway. And as you already know, I'm going to be journaling after this, so if you want to see me journal about some of the stuff that I've talked about, then stay tuned. Okay, see you. Bye bye.